Gloucester, with its magnificent cathedral, goes back in origin to 681 AD during the time of the Saxons. Following the Norman invasion, William the Conqueror ordered an abbey church building in 1089. Later in 1541, Henry VIII created the Diocese of Gloucester with the abbey church as its cathedral. The city of Gloucester holds many events throughout the year, not least being the biannual Torships Festival held in the Keys. The 2019 event was predicted to be the biggest and best yet. Not seen by many, however, is the journey the Torships make from the mouth of the River Severn and along the Gloucester Sharpness Canal before arriving in the Keys. Until now, if you care to watch this film. On Wednesday the 26th of May, crowds started arriving early in Sharpness, waiting for the first glimpse of masts and sails. And soon they were not disappointed, as the Torships arrived on the incoming tide that is said to be the second highest in the world. The Severn rescue boat is always on hand should anything go wrong. For a while they hold their position, waiting for the tide to rise sufficiently before entering the Sharpness lock. Timing and skill is needed when manoeuvring these great ships against a fast incoming tide. First in today is the Matthew, with an overall length of 24 metres, a 6.5 metre beam and a draft of 2.9 metres. Second is the TS Royalist, with an overall length of 32 metres, a 7.3 metre beam and a draft of 3.2 metres. Bringing up the rear is the Vilma, with an overall length of 19.8 metres, a 4.4 metre beam and a draft of 1.9 metres. The next day, the Torships start on their 16-mile journey from Sharpness to Gloucester, joined by the La Melouine, which had entered the canal earlier. She's 30 metres long, with a 6-metre beam and a draft of 3 metres. The La Melouine is a brig, which refers to a 2-mast square rigged ship, typically having an additional lower fore and aft on the gaff and a boom to the mainmast. The Matthew is a replica caravel, which refers to a small but highly manoeuvrable sailing ship developed in the 15th century by the Portuguese to explore along the West African coast and into the Atlantic Ocean. The La Melouine was built in Gdansk in Poland in 1972 and was originally a tug that served in the former East Germany. The Matthew is a full-size replica of Jan Cabolt's ship, that charted North America in 1497. The Marine Society and Sea Cadets flagship, the TS Royalist, was thus named by the Princess Royal, Anne, and takes 24 cadets to sea for 6-day voyages. TS standing, of course, for trading ship. Vilma was originally constructed in 1934 in Denmark on the Baltic coast. She was used mainly for sole fishing when built, but in later years she was used for trawling and cottle and mussel dredging. Seoul Junction is a popular spot for residents and tourists alike, so on this day when the tall ships passed, many hundreds turned up to speed them on into Gloucester Quays. 12 miles on from Sharpness is Sellers Bridge and the ever-popular Pilot Inn, overlooking the canal. A couple of 100 yards on is Canal View B&B, where the maker of this film lives, and hosts guests in his 2 double ensuite bedrooms with walk-in showers.
Now the current's got a boy taking the slack. Float on down to Shawnee Town and good like the bell back. And it's hot on the beach, oh, she moves to the sun. Way down Shawnee Town on the Ohio. Got a wife in Louisville, another in New Orleans. When I get to Shawnee Town, I see my Indian queen. And it's hot on the beach, oh, she moves to the sun. Way down Shawnee Town on the Ohio. Weather's mighty warm, boy, water's thick and dank. And on board it's so damn thick, you cannot see the bank. And it's hot on the beach, oh, she moves to the slum. Way down Shawnee Town on the Ohio.
And as the afternoon turns to evening, all the tour ships make their way to somewhere to moor up for the night. The Matthew and La Melouine select a spot 500 yards out from the quays, where there's plenty of room. The Vilma and TS Royalist decide to enter the quays.
Hot on the beach, oh, she moves to the slow. Way down Shawnee Town on the Ohio.
For 2019, the Gloucester Shanty Festival is being held at the same time as the Tall Ships Festival. Then on the day before the festival begins, everybody prepares for the event. New this year is a company called Gravity, who literally defy gravity with their awe-inspiring jet suit displays in what is sure to be big weekend draw. If they can get it right, that is. As the festival kicks off the following day, thousands of people flock to the quays. This year, the ticket price included access to the tall ships themselves. As one might expect, the Royal Navy was on hand to keep an eye open for pirates. And some were found trying to merge with the tourists, apparently quite happy to walk the plank with them, or in this case, the lock gates. But if there's trouble, there's always the King's Musketeers to keep order. In the newly completed Quay's Piazza, food stores selling delicious food were in abundance, while visitors picnicked in front of the stage. While those with an appetite for adventure rather than food took to the 1,000-foot zip wire across the docks. On the water, professional wakeboarders showed off their skills in tricks they call Wily Bird, Tantrum, Double Flips and Moby Dick. Not all the tricks worked as planned, however, as Captain Ahab found when Moby Dick took him for a ride. Gravity supporters must also have felt a little stage fright before travelling at up to 32 miles an hour across the dock, to the squeals and delight from those watching. In the end, however, all three flyers gained liftoff and returned to the Earth to the relief of all. At the end of the 3 days, all the tall ships return to the open sea, and we bid them fare thee well.
So fare thee well, my own true love, for when I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. I have signed on a Yankee sailing ship, Davy Crockett is her name, and Burge I.S., he's the captain of her, and they say she's afloat in shame. So fare thee well, my own true love, for when I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. I have sailed with Burgess once before, and I think I know him well. If a man is a sailor, he will get along. If not, then he'll sure be bound for hell. So fare thee well, my own true love, for when I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. I am bound for California, by way of stormy Cape Horn, and I will write to you a letter, my love, when we are homeward bound. So fare thee well, my own true love, for when I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. So fare thee well, my own true love, for when I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. So fare thee well, my own true love, for when I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of